And finally, new rule, Republicans have to stop excusing all the dictator-y stuff that comes out of Trump's mouth by saying, he's just kidding. He says stuff. When Trump proclaimed last year that if he won re-election, he'd be dictator on day one, Republicans said things like,
I think it was a joke.
It's entertainment.
We all know Trump uses unique expressions when he explains things.
Yeah. Now, Senate Majority Leader John Thune says when Trump talks about running for a third term, he's having some fun with it, probably messing with you. Yeah. When I challenged Ben Shapiro here on Trump being too dismissive and reposting that Liz Cheney deserves to be tried for treason, Ben answered sarcastically, wait, he said shit? That's crazy. Donald Trump said shit? This is such an interesting position for a political party to take about their leader. Trust us, there's nothing to worry about. Our guy is just full of shit. Trump is the only president when you're relieved, when he doesn't keep his campaign promises. And always the idea that if Trump really did cross the line, these Republicans say, oh, they would object. I asked Charlie Kirk about Trump, saying that he would like to put homegrown Americans in Salvadorian prisons. And Charlie said, if he were to do that, I wouldn't support it. But I think that's just a one-liner. Yeah, like Henny Youngman. Oh, that Andrew Dice Trump, always... always trying out new material, workshopping premises like U.S. citizens can be taken off the streets and sent to overseas torture prisons without due process. Get it? I'll be here all week. You, not so much. When former Senator Ben Sasse was asked about the idea that Trump wouldn't leave in 2020, his comment was, he says crazy stuff. We've always had a peaceful transfer of power. It's not going to change. But it did change, because it wasn't peaceful. And that's the problem with dictator jokes. They don't stay jokes. And flirting with authoritarianism doesn't stay flirting. You know, I've known lots of people in relationships who think you can flirt with other people and not act on it. Even women do it. Oh, I flirt, but I never do anything. I've seen them do it right in front of their husband. I guess it makes it hotter for these poor, bored fucks. Sure, she's sitting on Tom's lap in the middle of the party, but when we get home, this is the face she'll be sitting on. Hey, whatever works for you, but I'm telling you, humans cannot be trusted to just flirt with other attractive humans, and the MAGA crowd cannot be trusted to flirt with dictatorship. Not everyone who flirts cheats, but all cheating starts with flirting. I'm not in bed with Putin, he's just my work wife. And, okay, but aren't we kind of past the flirting phase now? Sure, Trump's love letters to Kim Jong-un and his siding with Putin at Helsinki and the tanks in the streets on his birthday, all coquettish good fun. And the lock her up chants and the suing the press and calling them enemy of the people and saying shoplifters should get shot on sight. Innocent flirting, all of it. Except, you know, I don't know. Now it seems a little less like just flirting and more like we're actually meeting every afternoon at the Motel 6. Around the third time someone accidentally made the straight arm salute, even Nick Fuentes, white nationalist, said, it's getting a little excessive even for me. And so I gotta ask, what about the rest of you, my Republican friends? And yes, I do have Republican friends, and I know that makes me a very bad person. Because it makes me less pure, and as we all know, purity wins elections and solves problems. Oh, wait. It doesn't. That's right, it doesn't. I forgot. doesn't he? And to think that the best thing you can do when you have absolutely no power is to ignore the people who have all of it is straight up delusional. On January 6, 2021, at the end of the day, Mike Pence did the right thing and would not go along with the scheme to steal the election. And neither would Republican stalwarts like William Barr and Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney and Mitch McConnell, all of whom full-throatedly said he lost. Brad Raffensperger in Georgia refused to find him 11,000 more votes. These are what I've always called the good-as-it-gets Republicans. And I know that's not much to hang your hat on, but I must remind Democrats, you no longer even own a hat rack. My choice of maintaining communication with the deplorables may only have a 1% chance of succeeding, but I guarantee your method of running out of the room screaming, "I'm not talking to you," has 0. I've taken some shit from the loony left for just reporting honestly how the president reacted in private when I criticized him to his face, when plainly what I should have said is that he eats with his hands and that he showed me his collection of human ears pressed between the pages of Mein Kampf. But I didn't do that. I was honest about it. And that gives me standing to say to conservatives, now, okay, you appreciated my honesty and balls. Now I want to see your balls. Wait, that didn't come out. Not how I meant it to come out. What I mean is, it's your turn. You know things aren't going well, and the first 100 days has been, yes, a shit show. Show me you can be honest about that. Show me you're not just a MAGA cultist.